So, friends, today after studying the classification and tabulation of data, slowly we are going inside the actual statistics. So, before going to actual statistics, there are few things that we should know and we should remember, because this statistics, what we are doing, we are applying statistics on a small subset, and then we are drawing conclusion about a larger data set. So for this projection we need to know certain condition, how and why we are doing this. So in this regard, it is very important to know what is parameter and what is statistics. So this is a very small topic that has been mentioned in your syllabus. So today we will see what is parameter, what is statistic, and what is observation. So before studying parameter and statistic, we should know what is population and what is sample. So what population constitutes? So population is a group of phenomena that have something in common. So just see in this picture, population is a group of phenomena, or this phenomena may be individual or object or any measurement. So whatever group you are dealing with, that constitutes a population, but it is a large set of that particular group is very large. In other words, you can say that population is a complete set of individuals, objects or measurements. And the common observable character, they should have common observable characteristics. So here you can see this is a group of individuals, group of people, large set of people, and they are having common characteristic, one or two common characteristic you can identify here. They all have four limbs. So these four limbs can be considered as a common characteristics. So population can be a complete set of all similar items that exist. So a population can be a theoretical construct that is potentially infinite in size. So whenever somebody is asking to define population in statistical terms, there is another definition of population in biological terms. But what we are dealing is the definition of population in context of statistics. So a population can be theoretical construct that is potentially infinite in size. So the size of population you cannot describe, the infinite size. Each and every individual in that population we have to consider when we are talking about the population. Then what is sample? A sample is a smaller group of members of a population selected to represent the population. So what sample is? A sample is a smaller set of individuals that we have drawn from that particular population. Why we have drawn that group of people from that population? Because this sample will represent the population. We will see why a representative sample is necessary to study about the population. So a sample is a smaller group of members of a population selected to represent the population. Further, a sample consists of one or more observations drawn from a population. So here you can see these are the two samples that we have drawn from the population. So a sample consists of one or more observations drawn from the population. Then sample is a subset of population, and the condition is that it thoroughly represents the population. So this is very important characteristics, because what we are doing in statistics, we are studying characteristic of population on sample. not on population, because in population, if you are if you want to study about the population, you have to study each and every individual or each and every object of that infinitely large population. So this is practically impossible. So what we are doing, we are collecting samples, we are picking samples from that particular large population, and we are studying the population, and further, after studying population, we are extending the finding to uh, the population. So what we are doing, we are studying the sample and extending the finding to population. So that is why thorough representation of population is necessary in the form of sample. So sample should be representative. If your sample is wrong, you cannot draw meaningful conclusion from that sample to be extended to population. Then comes the parameter and statistic. So it is very simple. Parameter is a characteristic of entire population. So whenever somebody is talking about parameter, that means he is talking about entire population, not about a sample. Example: population mean, standard deviation, etc. So the population parameter includes the population mean and population standard deviation. So these are the population parameter. When we are studying the characteristic of population, then those characteristics will be called as parameter. Then statistic. Statistics in similar way, statistics is the characteristic of sample. And example is same. The sample mean and sample standard deviation and sample variance and any other characteristics. So whenever we are studying characteristic on population, it is called as parameter. If we are studying characteristic on sample, it is called as statistic. And this is very important statement. This, when in later classes we will see what inferential statistics is. So inferential statistics allow us to use sample statistics to make conclusion about population. So with the help of inferential statistics, what we are doing, we are studying the sample, and with help of inferential statistics, we are extending that finding to the population. So in inferential statistics, we use sample statistics to estimate population parameter. So I have already told you it is not possible to see each and every observation in a population. So we have to study about sample and extend the findings to the population. This is the table showing a difference in the use of symbols between parameter and statistics. So when we are talking about mean, when it is population mean, we are representing it by mu, whereas statistics we are using it by x bar. So generally Greek letters are associated with the representation of population parameter as well as sample statistic. Population parameter, and the Roman letter is associated with the statistics. So when standard deviation of population, it is represented by sigma, whereas of statistics it is represented by s letter, small s. If you are talking about proportion, in parameter it will be pi, in statistic it will be small p. Similarly, correlation, it will be rho in parameter, whereas in statistics it can be represented by r. So these are very few. A long list is there. You can refer some book for getting the list of different symbols used in parameter and statistics. Then another important term that has been mentioned in your syllabus is observation. So what observation is? It is a fact or figure that we collect about a given variable. So suppose you are having a variable, suppose milk yield is a variable, and you are having a set of figures or fact about that milk yield. Suppose you are having milk yield of a cow. So you are having figure the milk yield of that particular cow in the morning and evening. So these figures or facts are called as observation. It can be both qualitative or quantitative. So qualitative or quantitative. So quantitative, that means the milk yield. If we are talking about qualitative, then suppose you measured certain characteristic, qualitative characteristics. Suppose you measure the you measured the color of milk. So you found that the one in the morning it was fully white, whereas in the evening it was slightly yellowish, having slightly yellowish tinge. So these are the qualitative character. So observation may be qualitative or quantitative. Numerically, it can be birth weight of a calf. Example, similar example of the milk yield. So it can be birth weight of a calf. Qualitatively, it can be coat color of the Labrador. So these are the different kinds of observations, qualitative and quantitative. Similar to the variable, also in variable also we have studied qualitative variable and quantitative variable. In data also we have studied qualitative data and quantitative data. So nothing new is in the observation. So this was the thing that I had to discuss today. Thank you.